There's a lot of great things happening at Tennessee Athletics.
I believe this city is going to be upside down tonight.
Season-long party continues on Rocky Top.
Welcome back to another episode of the Everything Orange podcast. You guys, how is it already December? And how is this our last athlete of the fall semester already? It's crazy. I feel like just yesterday we started the podcast. Oh, with that all being said, today our guest is a native from Ennis, Ireland, where it was through his training for hurling that he found a passion for running distance. He quickly realized it was a sport he wanted to pursue after high school and looked to the States to find his next opportunity. After arriving on Rocky Top this fall, he earned SEC Freshman of the Week accolades following his 8th overall finish at pre-nationals, and ended the season with the honor of being named SEC Freshman of the Year, the first and only time a cross-country volunteer has won the award since it was introduced in 2000. Please welcome to the Everything Orange podcast, Dean Casey. Dean Casey, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
So you're from Ireland. This is your first time living and being in the States. What does a day in the life in Ireland look like for you back at home?
So I typically wake up close to maybe 9 o'clock, a bit late, but then I would go off into training and meet up with a group of my teammates and all that. And it could be just running some miles or doing a session. So that'd take nearly 2 hours of the morning. So it was not too bad. And then we normally go off and we might go and grab a bite to eat together or something like that. But that didn't happen all the time, but it was nice. And then when I got home, I would get lunch, maybe go for a nap if I was able to.
Yeah.
And then if there was any like sports games on, just watch anything.
Okay, what do you watch? What's your sport to go to when you turn on the TV?
If there's any hurling games on or rugby games on, really. So.
Have you come to enjoy American sports? Do we watch football? That's, American football, not soccer.
Yeah.
Do you like watching American sports?
I do. I'm starting to like the American football more.
Okay.
I still don't know it, but
Yeah.
I like it.
I remember I was in Florida with the men's tennis team, and we had a couple of guys who were international on the team, and trying to explain the game of football. There was like a really big game that Saturday.
Yeah.
I can't remember who we were playing last season, but they were like, it doesn't make sense. Why are we kicking and then throwing, and what's the point system? It's fun to watch.
It is.
Have you gone to some games in Newland?
I have.
What are your thoughts?
It's very, very good.
Yeah?
I love the atmosphere there.
Oh, awesome.
So
at home, your parents, and do you have any siblings?
yeah, I have an older sister and a
Okay.
younger sister and a twin brother.
Are you the only athlete in the family, or did your parents grow up playing sports, or your sister?
So my father did nearly every sport that there was possible to do at the time. Like he did soccer, some hurling, some rugby, bit of running. So kind of grew up into a sporty house.
Okay.
So it was nice.
So living in America now, what do you miss most about home? What did you come to love here that you didn't expect or didn't know?
I really miss the rain back at home.
Really?
Yes.
You don't like all the sunshine here? Is it too much?
I love the sun. I love running in the sun, but I
Okay.
love rain as well.
Okay.
So
I wouldn't expect that.
it's the one I miss the most, I'd
okay.
say. And then my family, obviously.
Right,
So
right. And then what about America surprised you?
obviously, from being from Ireland, we do a lot of things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So like your school system is a little bit different. Not a whole lot different, but it's slightly different.
Okay.
So like even just going to classes and all that, it's I won't say more fun, but
Okay. I think, I don't know how it is there, but like, do you feel like you have more freedom here? Like the
Yes.
days you can plan out your days differently and do the things that you want to, and however.
yeah. So I think the way it's set up in Ireland, for your first year, you're given a set class timetable. You can't
Okay.
create it.
Okay.
But here you can change it up
Yeah.
and make it your own. So it's a
Yeah.
lot nicer.
A lot of flexibility
Yeah.
with that. That's good. So talking about your athletic career, being one of the top ranked Irish runners, you didn't grow up with the intention of wanting to do distance running. It actually came about because you were using running as a way to train for hurling, right?
Yes.
So how did you get into hurling, and then when did that switch kind of happen when you were like, wait, I'm kind of good at this, I kind of like it, I want to pursue it?
Yeah, so I started hurling when I was about 6, maybe 7 years old.
Okay.
And hurling is a very running sport, nearly. And so after about 3 years, that's when I decided to join up to athletics club to start getting quicker for hurling.
Okay.
But then as time went on, I started to like running more. I don't know what drew me into it. I just liked it more. And so then I stopped hurling, and then I just continued on with the running and started going places with it. So
yeah, you got pretty good at it because you were a member of the Ennis Track Athletic Club for 5 seasons, and you set the U20 Irish 10K record, won bronze at the 2022 U20 European Cross Country Championships.
yeah.
Did that moment kind of solidify your decision in deciding to go from hurling to distance running?
Yeah, that really, even when I made the European track team when we ran in Estonia for the under-20s, that kind of sealed it. It's like, that's when I stopped running, or
Yeah.
stopped hurling.
Yeah.
And when I stopped it, then I started going to European championships for under-20s and carried on.
Yeah, it's a pretty spectacular feat that you've been able to accomplish in only a couple years in the sport. And when you look back at your time running, were there any conversations with coaches, with family members that really helped you make that transition, that decision?
So my coach back at home, Pat Hogan, he was a big help with it. It's like, he knew what I was doing, like hurling and running at the time. So, and he would balance my training to correspond with the hurling.
Okay.
So I wasn't gonna get too tired and get burnt out too quickly. And then he always left it up to me if I wanted to stay with the hurling or stay with running. So he kind of helped me decide in a way.
Yeah. He encouraged whatever decision you ultimately wanted to make.
Yeah.
In hurling and in running, are both of those sports popular in Ireland?
Hurling is like our football, or like your football.
Okay.
It's
Very big.
Very big.
Okay.
Everyone has done it at one stage in their life.
Okay.
Running is getting up there now.
Okay.
It's on the rise, but like, it's still not as big.
For you, growing up in Ireland, having few post-secondary school cross-country opportunities, and then your graduation was quickly approaching, you kind of had to make the decision of, okay, do I want to continue this athletic career, or do I want to stay, in Ireland? And you ultimately made the decision that you wanted to come to the States and continue running cross-country for a university here.
Yeah.
How did you come to that decision? Was it easy? Was it difficult?
I always wanted to run in America at some
Okay.
stage, whether it be a master's degree or something like that. But so when I was looking at the colleges, I saw what Coach Carlson was doing here for the men's team and was pretty much rebuilding it. And
Yeah.
I was like, I would like to be a part of that and kind of help create the distance team up. So
Yeah, was that pretty much like a no-brainer for you? Like, you saw the Power T logo, you saw Coach Carlson, you saw where there was potential for this program to go. Was it a pretty easy decision to be like, I want to come to Tennessee?
yeah,
Yeah.
close enough, yeah.
What about it stood out to you when you think of like Knoxville, Cherokee, Cross Country Farms? Like, even Coach,
Yeah.
what was it that really stood out to you?
So last January I came on my visit here, and I just fell in love with the area. Like, the trails they're nice.
Okay.
And then the warm weather as well kind of
Yeah.
roped me in as well.
Yeah.
But also, like, wearing the Power T, it's one of those big schools where nearly everyone has heard of. So
Even in Ireland?
maybe not so much in Ireland, but like, if you told them like University of Tennessee, they'll have
Okay.
some idea where you're
Okay.
going.
Gotcha.
So,
So-
and then like the football was doing very well at the time. So like,
Yeah.
it would have been a no-brainer not to come here.
Right, and I think that's like one of the most attractive things about Tennessee. It's like not just the program that you're coming to be a part of is on the rise and growing in the right direction, but you look around to all the different athletic departments and you see, like you said, football doing really well, men's and women's basketball doing great, baseball and softball going to the World Series. Like there's so much to be excited about being an athlete here at Tennessee.
Yeah, like I think since I've been here, I've been to a lot of the volleyball games, nearly all the football games, bar the ones where I had to not go to because of travel for races. I've been to a couple of the soccer games, and I definitely want to go to the basketball games eventually, and the baseball and softball. So,
what is it about you that makes you want to go out and support all of your fellow athletes here?
So a lot of the American sports are like baseball and football and even basketball. I haven't really watched them growing up.
Okay.
So like I don't know anything about basketball or football, and even baseball, I don't know anything. And like so, I'm learning football at the moment, and I'm kind of liking it a lot.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. How's it going? Are you starting to pick up more of the rules and the flow of the game?
A little bit.
A little bit. But I promise you by the time you graduate, I think you'll have a pretty good understanding of Tennessee football.
Yeah.
And then basketball, like you mentioned, like really fun too. And you said you've been out to volleyball and soccer. How fun has it been to just immerse yourself in all of Tennessee athletics?
Oh, it's great because like all the athletics departments here are very good. Like I think the volleyball is ranked number 3.
Yes, and
I think.
they're tied for second in the SEC.
Yes.
And top 10 in the NCAA polls. Yeah.
And the basketball, they're top 10.
Yeah.
I think same with the women. And then the football, they're
Top 25.
top 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, it's very good like sports here
Yes.
to watch. So
Yeah, really competitive and just really fun to be a part of a winning culture here.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your freshman season because you made your debut at the cross country 23 pre-nationals.
Yes.
You finished 8th overall, and then your performance earned you SEC Freshman of the Week. What do you remember about those couple of days, that experience overall?
So when I raced the course, we'll say my thinking of my freshman year is just to kind of get a base of, we'll
Sure.
say, what's it like to race in the NCAA. And I didn't really, I won't say wanted to stand out in my freshman year, but like it was nice to. And I just love racing. So like I couldn't really hold myself back from going for it.
Right.
So
It was something that just came naturally to you, and it's like because of your hard work and because of your passion, this is just kind of where you ended up, and like it's exciting to know what yet is still to come out of you in this program and your time here at Tennessee.
Yeah.
So then to follow up, you finished as the highest racing freshman at SECs, and then you earned NCAA All-Region accolades while helping guide the Vols to a second consecutive South Region title and return to the NCAA championships.
Yes.
What did that success and that win mean to you and also your fellow teammates?
it was very, very good for me, and even our teammates, or my teammates I should say, it showed us that the program is going in the right direction. It shows that we have room to grow and how good we can be if we actually do things right.
Right, there's a lot of potential yet that's not been tapped into. That's really exciting to see that maybe you can reach and continue to grow in that direction.
Yeah.
Then you personally, you became the first volunteer to win the SEC Men's Freshman of the Year award since it was introduced in 2000. I don't even know if you were born yet in 2000.
No, I wasn't.
So what did that mean to you? Like, have you actually processed what that means and what it meant to the program and you and your coach?
I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
It's like, I still didn't think that I was the first SEC Freshman of the Year. I thought someone had done it in the past.
Okay.
So it still hasn't hit me yet.
it's so exciting, and like it's such a huge honor, and you should feel so proud of yourself for achieving that, because it's never happened here before. You're literally the first.
Yep.
So for the second time in as many years too, your head coach Sean Carlson has been named the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coach Association as its South Region Men's Cross Country Coach of the Year. That is a mouthful, but it's a huge honor. So talking a little bit about your coach, how has he helped be a mentor towards you? How has he helped lead this group and help to grow this program?
So he puts a lot of nearly all his time into the program. Like, we could call him at any stage or text him, and he'll get back to us as soon as he can. And for when he does our training plans, he listens to what we have to say and what we think is best for us. And so, like, I like doing aerobic stuff. Okay. So like that's the longer tempos and stuff like that. Whereas other people on the team prefer to do, let's say, interval work. He has no problem with me going off and doing mild tempos, what everyone else does, Ks. Okay. So like he balances everyone's training to their own standard and their preferred like training style. Mm-hmm. So it's very helpful. Mm-hmm. And
to have him like help build you, into the person that you are right now, and then in the future down the line as well, what does it mean to have a mentor in him and just somebody who is so supportive and supporting you day in and day out?
It's very good, because like we always know that he'll have our back no matter what happens. So like knowing that, it's very handy. Mm-hmm. It's like even if we make somewhat of a mistake, we know he's there to help us to get over that mistake. Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. And for you too, like not being from here, being away from your family, having somebody like that in that type of a role in your life, I'm sure is just huge and brings you a level of comfort, given that, your family is not down the road like they used to anymore.
Yeah, it's nearly a day's travel to get home, so it's not too bad. Yeah. It's nice.
And in a lot of ways, like this was a big year for you, and I just kind of touched on it, but like moving to a new country, leaving your home, leaving your friends and your family and your team, and competing at a really high level and winning all of these awards, like personally, what are you most proud of yourself in making all these big life changes over the past couple of months?
I say I'm most proud about actually like putting my mind to it, to come here, to start creating the next chapter for my life. And obviously I've started with a good start anyways, so try to build off that now.
Yeah, because like you're in a new area, you don't know a lot of people. It could have been so easy for you to be like, you know what, I'm gonna cancel that flight, I'm just gonna stay home, I'm gonna be where I'm comfortable. And I'm sure you can speak on this too, that like you grow the most in situations when you're uncomfortable. So seeing yourself achieve all this success kind of puts into perspective of like, wow, like this was worth it.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it to come here.
Good, I'm so glad. So in talking about being able to be at Tennessee and represent your home country of Ireland here, just talk to me a little bit about what that means to you, representing, your family and the people back home.
I love it. So, because like, there's not really a lot of my family who've, let's say, studied abroad or did sports to this level of degree. So being able to do this for not only my family, but like my club as well, it's I love it.
And being able to like even bring back, the bright orange and the power tee. Do people at home ask you what that is, and you get the opportunity to tell them a little bit about your story?
Yeah, I get to say a small bit about it, but like all my teammates from back home want me to bring gear back to them.
Yeah.
So I'll see.
Maybe some Christmas presents in their future. Yeah, that'd be so fun. So now I want to get into our fun section because I was doing some Googling and thinking about like, okay, what can we talk about? What are you probably really passionate about to talk about? And there's a lot of misconceptions out there about Ireland and the Irish and everything going on in the country. So I wanted to debunk them with you. I wanted to get the truth from you firsthand about some of those misconceptions. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. So the first, which I'm sure everyone says this, everyone in Ireland has red hair. True, false?
A lot of people have red hair, but not everyone.
Okay. And I did some more digging. Okay, they have the largest per capita ratio of people with red hair, but it's really only 10% of the population.
Yeah.
So it's like normal. Like everyone calm down, right?
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay, did you grow up learning, I don't know if I say it right, the
Gaelic.
thank you, language, or mainly English?
So Gaelic is, we'll say, a dying language now.
Okay.
It's on the out, but it's still there. We're still taught it through, we'll say, our primary school all the way to maybe even into college for some courses. So, but it's mainly English we learn to speak.
Okay.
So
Do you greet people by saying any of those words, or is it just kind of like in the back of your head, like, yeah, I know a little bit, I don't really ever speak it?
I don't really speak it too much, but I would maybe for fun just say it to some people, and they'll have no idea what they're.
Can you say something then?
Diaguis, Dino Kasi Gizanum Dum, Tommy, in a Coney era.
Okay.
So I pretty much said, hi, my name's Dean Casey,
Okay.
and I live in Ireland.
Nice.
So.
Very nice. Don't have any clue what you said. You could have said that. You could have said something completely different. I don't know.
Yeah.
The luck of the Irish.
Yes.
Is that a real thing? Do you embrace that?
I like to think it's real.
Okay.
But not everyone
Yeah.
might think it.
I would like to hope it's real too. Luck
Yeah.
of the Irish. I did some, again, Google searching, and the term is actually not Irish. Do you know this? The term was invented during the gold rush of the late 19th century in the United States, where many Irish immigrants went to become miners, and so the most successful miners happened to be Irish. Therefore, the phrase was the luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
You knew that?
I had a rough idea.
Okay. I had no idea. The more you know.
No.
Okay, all of the fantasy elements of Ireland, leprechauns, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, even Lucky Charms cereal. Do you like that about the culture? Is that a fun part of the Irish?
I like it.
Yes.
It's just, I don't know if other people would like it, but I like it a lot.
Okay. Does it get overplayed a lot, like little corny sometimes?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but like, it's bearable.
Okay, good. I'm sure it's just fun to embrace sometimes and just lean into, because why not? Because they all came from Irish folklore, right? Like a lot of those, the leprechauns, the pot of gold, things like that. Did you grow up learning a lot of Irish folklore from your parents or your grandparents?
Not really, but
Okay.
obviously you hear stories of it from friends, families, so people on the street or whatever. So
Okay. Yeah.
you always hear a bit of it.
Right, it's like embedded into
Yeah.
daily life, but you don't think twice about it
No.
living there. Top of the morning to you. Do people greet you that way?
Kind of.
Okay.
Some would just say how are you or whatever.
Okay.
And I started doing it more since I've been here,
Okay.
like top of the morning.
Yeah.
And so it seems to be getting a good
Yeah.
response for it.
Do you get like positive feedback from your friends and your teammates? Do they respond in the same way or?
Yeah, they do.
So you brought a little bit of the Irish charm into your teammates. How do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day at home? Is it like the American way, very over the top, a lot of fun to be had? Is that the same in Ireland?
It close enough, yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a lot of Americans go to Ireland to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And it's fun, we'll put it that way.
Okay, yeah. I know, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got you. An Irish exit or like an Irish goodbye. Is that
Yeah.
a thing?
So I
feel like you're very passionate about this.
So recently I've just learned what Americans thought an Irish goodbye was, where you just leave without saying goodbye.
Yes, that's what I know it as.
From what I know it as, and even my father and my family know it, is that where you say goodbye at, say, let's say 8 o'clock at night,
Okay.
and you're still there till midnight, still trying to say goodbye. So
Okay.
that's what we.
So it's like a fake goodbye. Like you're like, oh, okay, I'm leaving, guys, bye.
Yeah.
And then you get pulled back into whatever is going on around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Because I knew it as like someone dipped and you had no idea they left, and you're like, oh, they just Irish exited on us. Cool.
Yeah, it's not really like that.
Okay.
So.
Do you use that term at home, or did you just hear the term here?
I heard it when I was here.
Okay.
And I was a little bit annoyed with it.
Yeah.
So.
We'll leave it at that. Very
Yeah.
fair. Well, Dean, those were all the questions that I had for you. The last thing I wanted to ask you, though, and we ask everybody on the podcast this question. It's very controversial, so brace
Okay.
yourself. When you sing Rocky Top, do you woo?
Yes, I do.
No hesitation. You woo.
The way I was taught it.
Yeah. Have you learned the words to Rocky Top? Are you feeling pretty confident in the song these days?
I know, we'll say the chorus.
Okay.
Coming into the woo.
Okay,
But after
okay.
that,
Yeah. You don't know about the corn or the two strangers. We'll get you
No.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The longer you're here, we'll get you to be able to sing the full lyrics of the song.
yeah.
Well, Dean, thanks so much for joining me on the podcast today. I really appreciate it. And it was great meeting you, and we're so excited to see what else you achieve here on Rocky Top.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Everything Orange. As always, be sure to follow us on all of our Vol Sports platforms so you don't miss out on a single update. But before we go, here's a look at everything going on with Tennessee athletics this upcoming week. And of course, I have to start off with the biggest news coming out of volleyball over the weekend. The Lady Vols swept both High Point and Western Kentucky to advance to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2005. Now they will take on the Texas Longhorns tonight. Yes, you heard me correctly, tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Make sure to tune in and cheer on your Lady Vols. And with the end of fall sports upon us now, things are pretty light this week, but that basically means you have nothing stopping you from coming out and supporting your favorite Vols and Lady Vols in action. Starting with Saturday, the number 17 men's basketball team is taking on number 20 ranked Illinois at noon in the Food City Center. And if you can't make it in person, no problem. You can tune in to the game on CBS. Then on Sunday, the Lady Vols face off against EKU in the Food City Center. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. Lastly, on Tuesday, men's basketball takes on Georgia Southern at 7 p.m. in the Food City Center. Easy enough, right? Well, that's a wrap on Rocky Top. Tune in next Thursday for another episode of Everything Orange. Bye, y'all.